Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobras Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. Today's minimalism video is going to be 5 helpful tips to help you with a scarcity mentality using minimalism. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo. This video is actually a video request from one of my subscribers, Erica. Addressing a scarcity mindset with minimalism. I have definitely struggled with a scarcity mindset for a really long time, and I really do credit minimalism with helping address that. So I'm going to be talking today about 5 things that I use my minimalism to help address my scarcity mindset, and hopefully this could help somebody else out. So let's get right to the list. Number 1, less is more is a choice. I think that it's very easy to feel that with minimalism. Sorry, I'm just going to put this here. I don't have my tripod. I'm so sorry. I think it's really easy with minimalism to feel like it's a deprivation or it's an intentional choice to live with less. Like with a scarcity mindset, it's such a slippery slope to feel like, why would I want to live intentionally with less when I already feel like I don't have enough? And that was something that I really struggled with a lot in the beginning. But I think that biggest difference between like not having enough and choosing to purposely have less lies within the idea that it's actually a choice. We can choose to say no to certain things, and that can create an abundance because you end up becoming very intentional in out of what is available to you, you're being selective, and having that choice becomes a privilege. You no longer feel like I accept everything that comes my way, don't know when more will come my way. But when you become intentional about what you let into your life, all of a sudden so many things go by and you feel fine with or without it because you've already made the decision or the choice or the intentionality to choose. This works and this doesn't work for me. Number 2, your baseline has abundance. I think that a lot of us get so caught up in what we don't have that we forget to look at our baseline. And when I refer to our baseline, I refer to kind of like the normal state that you're more or less in, like your actual life, how much you've accomplished, where you're actually in your life, and realizing that your baseline has a lot of abundance. That is something that I struggled with. I think another way to think of it is gratitude, looking at what you do have in your life and realizing that like that is actually a lot. I think that I had a friend once tell me that apparently I'm privileged in ways that I never thought I was privileged in. A lot of the things that for me were really painful, growing up in poverty, being bullied for going to an upper class school, struggling really hard, going to university, taking on student loans, all of those things for me were really, really difficult. But I had never been told that those things were actually my privileges. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that sometimes we take for granted some of the things that are in our lives. For example, that friend mentioned that like at least you got to live in government housing, like at least you had a roof over your head, at least you got to go to like a really good school, like at least you had education, like at least you were able to go to school, at least you had the ability to pay for your funds even though it wasn't like coming out of your parents' pocket. And realizing that I am actually quite privileged, it depends on who you look at, was kind of like eye-opening. I'm not here trying to say that like let's just compare ourselves to people worse off than ourselves so we can pat ourselves on the back and feel better. That wasn't what I was trying to say, but rather to take a moment of gratitude and look around in our lives and realize like what good is there in our current baseline. Number 3, food and shelter are the things you need to truly feel blessed. I know that this is very like, there's so much more to life. If you look at Maslow's law of actualization, there's so many like ranks on the triangle of like before you reach self-actualization, and the bottom of the barrel is like just asking for food and shelter. Like that should just be like the bare minimum human right. But for myself, I practice my minimalism and I incorporate a lot of Zen and Buddhism into it, and having those things does make life a lot better. If you've ever lived without those things, worrying how you're going to pay for your next meal, or do you even have a roof over your head? As somebody who's been a vagabond for a really long time, I've moved a lot throughout my life. I think like every 2 years I'd always move, and I think that those things, if you have those things, your life is already in a pretty good place, because if you've ever experienced not having those things, life is a lot more difficult. So I think that if our human needs and just like our ability to live, if you can find the abundance in that, you're already doing quite well. Anything else, you start to realize like, wow, like that is an abundance. That is a blessing. That is so much more than I need. Those are wants now. My needs for safety and shelter and security have been fulfilled. I can open my mind to other things. I know that that's very, very strange. Like it seems like the things that I'm talking about are in the realm of scarcity, and how does minimalism help with that? Minimalism helped lower my baseline to something that I choose to be there. I choose to be at a lower baseline, and that intentionality behind there makes me very happy because I don't have to be here, but I make that choice. I choose to become more stoic, and I choose to be a lot more hardcore, because being down here, there's actually a lot of benefit that I think maybe people don't really know about until you actually experience and live minimalism. Number 4, adding experiences to enrich your life. One of the key things, or one of the key components of minimalism that really spoke to me was this idea that you don't need to have material abundances to feel enriched, that it's actually the experiences that you live that make you rich or wealthy. And that really spoke to me, because it's true. When I think back to the things that I'm most proud of, it isn't the things that I accumulated or bought, it's rather the experiences and the things that I live, like the places that I traveled to, the education that I garnered, the wisdom that I've acquired. And all of that only came about when I took minimalism a lot more seriously, and I decided to forego putting so much importance on material possessions. I still like my material things, but that's not the core of who I am and my identity and the fulfillment and value that I have in life. It's actually like garnering more positive and enriching experiences. And I think it's true, it does make me a more enriched individual. When you talk to other people, you mostly share and talk about experiences that you had. You don't talk about all the items that you have at home. At least I don't think that's how people usually function. And number 5, at the end of the day, it's a mind shift. With minimalism, I think the only way that I was truly able to embrace and enjoy minimalism was when I realized that a lot of the enrichment that was going to occur in my life was going to occur at the level of my mind, like reading, watching YouTube videos, exposing myself to different experiences. That was the thing that was really going to enrich me. And I had to make that mind shift. I had to stop realizing that my wealth was not in a material sense. That yes, material possessions are great and do make life a whole lot more comfortable, but that's not the abundance in my life. And the beautiful thing is, there's no limit to that. There might be a limit to how much financially you can afford to buy, but experiences and knowledge, for the most part, if you make the effort, is limitless. You can continue to learn however much you want, to your own capacity, to your own ability. It isn't limited by financial resources or access to resources. It's knowledge and learning and experiences are an abundance that you can have more and more of. And you start to become more creative in life, because you start to feel like you can have more of amazing things in your life, and it's not bound by this obsession with accumulating material possessions. And I think that at the end of the day is the true richness that comes with minimalism, is you no longer have a scarcity mindset, because you're no longer concerned with accumulating material possessions. So I think that is at the core of the scarcity mindset, right? Like, there's just not enough for me, there's not enough money, there's not enough stuff, there's not enough time. When with minimalism, you create more of that, you create more time, you create more abundance, you're buying less stuff, so you have more money, and with more money you can have more options, you have more financial freedom, and with more knowledge in your mind, you also create more opportunities for yourself in terms of seeing the world in a different way, seeing opportunities when they do come along. I think the benefits of minimalism are quite intangible, and I want to lamely conclude that it is until you really try it for yourself that you will start to see the benefits. Okay, I really do hope that this video has helped anybody out with a scarcity mindset. It's something that I still struggle with to this day, but these little tips have helped me a lot in healing my relationship with fear of lack, and I hope that it can help anybody else out. And if you guys wish to check out my Patreon, you can do so. I've currently implemented having monthly vlogs, letting my Patreons know what's good behind the scenes, and if you just wish to help out my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And if not, then just help me out with the algorithm by giving this video a thumbs up and a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!